Sports at Night is recorded in front of a non-existent studio audience. What's happening, everybody? This is Sports at Night, real fans, real talk, and as always, I am your host, Todd the Coach Knight, with the OGC, baby. Will, the Beard Trahan, and Jevon Superman Miller.
Mr. Todd Knight.
Yo, what you got?
You can call me Jevon Robert Kraft Miller today.
For
because
what?
I'm definitely going by the massage parlor today, ladies. And I got a little money to spend.
Oh, boy.
I'll see y'all later. Yes, indeed.
So you're going to do exactly what it's doing outside right now. You're going to make it rain, right?
Oh, I'm going to make it rain. I need a good massage.
Make it rain. Boy, you're going to make it drizzle.
I got a couple of dollars, baby. I need a good massage when I get in there, ladies.
I'm sure you do.
Just like Kraft.
Anyway. I love how quiet you are on the subject matter.
Well, you know, when I tip, I like to use change. So I call making it hail.
Oh, man. That is just cold-blooded.
Fantastic. Okay.
Gee, that give women concussions, bro.
Well, you know, it's still money, so
Well, if you're getting concussions, you need insurance, right?
that's true.
Okay, then.
Well,
so
make sure you throw in Bitcoin.
oh yeah, very big point is definitely needed. Okay, guys. As always, our show is brought to you by Paul McMurray State Farm,
Paul.
where the only thing better than the policies themselves is the service you'll be provided with. Call the number on the bottom of your screen, and somebody will be more than happy to help you with all of your insurance-related needs, be that home, auto, life, rental dwelling, flood, you name it. They can take care of you, man. Just saying.
He's not.
Call that number, man.
He's not answering.
It's because he's watching the show.
Oh, what? Oh, that's right. And he knows I'm calling. Damn. I'll try back later.
There's always another chance, but you guys can go ahead and call. We're just a little busy right now. Anyway,
We were just.
but what to do? You're talking about making it rain.
Right.
It
Robert
never
style.
rains in San Diego, it seems, but Manny Machado, I think, would probably disagree with that statement.
Man, he got paid.
Did he ever?
Hey!
The richest contract in American sports history.
Free agents contract.
Yes.
Please,
Free agent
Just
contract.
signed Manny Machado.
What the dollars?
10 years. $300 million.
That is a lot of zeros.
Yo, dude. In my humble opinion, no human being walking the face of the earth is worth that amount of money.
That is a crock of crap,
That's
man.
just my opinion. And I think I speak for the vast majority of the American public on that.
I think LeBron James is worth $300 million.
Dude, man, you know what the hell with him, man? I'm over here tipping dollars, and this dude's getting $300 million. You son of a...
All the
That is-
massage
you got a
parlors
five
in
in
San
there.
Diego have a smile on their face today.
Oh, me love you long time.
My gosh. Put that
Man,
down.
I'm just saying, man, $300 million? Seriously?
It's a lot of money,
$300
man. It's
yeah.
a lot of cheddar.
Jeez.
Fully guaranteed.
Oh, my God.
Talk about laughing your butt off all the way to the bank on that one.
Well, somebody salary cap these son of a bitches. That is a lot of money,
Hell
man.
no.
Oh, my.
Don't ever salary cap baseball. That's what's wrong with the NFL. They salary cap the NFL. Now players want to go here, want to go there, want to go here, want to go there. I'm telling you, baseball has got it figured out. People say it's dying. Revenue streams keep going up.
Yeah.
Money
well,
keeps getting bigger.
Well, yeah.
I tell you what, if my kid's a superstar athlete, basketball, nope, baseball, yes.
Well, yeah. That was
I definitely get that. And
That's
Hazar,
smart.
Yeah, exactly.
smart.
Hazar and I had that same conversation the other day because, I mean, she was talking, because football is my jam, you know what I mean?
Right.
And, you know, kind of thinking about it is all the different things involving health and all that. You know, your shelf life in the NFL or football in general is astronomically small.
Right, the average NFL career is 3 years.
Exactly.
Well, NFL is becoming a game for punks anyway. So therefore, I do not want my son to play a game that I'm rapidly starting to hate anyway.
It's not football that you're hating. I think it's the NFL that you're.
NFL sucks, man. The AAF is becoming really on my radar at the moment.
That's what you're feeling it right now.
But in all truth and honesty, man, I mean, like, you got a bunch of crybabies that just, you give them more money in the NFL and then they become more divas. At least in baseball, you give them more money, they play harder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, for the most part. So I just rapidly hate football at this moment, or becoming a football hater. And basketball is cool because basketball is just fun. I think they've made basketball where it's not even just a sport of what we used to watch when we were younger. Now you just can go out there and shoot. You can play street ball, basically. You know what I mean? So it's something that your kids should play for fun.
The only thing I don't like about basketball, and I'll say this with a hint of caution, is that I think the egos for basketball players are the biggest in all of professional sports. Because in the NFL, you got 53 players. It don't matter how good Russell Wilson is. Doesn't matter how good Tom Brady is. Doesn't matter how good Peyton Manning was. If he doesn't have help, he's not going to win.
Right.
LeBron James has carried his team to the finals every single year, except for the year that Kyrie Irving was healthy. But he's been there for the past, 8 years? He's been in the NBA Finals. So,
the streak stops at 8.
You can affect a lot more as one guy on a team that starts 5 people as opposed to an 11 team, 11 on offense, 11 on defense.
Yeah.
So, like LeBron James, his ego is huge. Who else could get away with calling the NFL a bunch of white slave owners and it not hurt them at all?
Well, yeah, I mean that's true, but then again, they made him so popular and they praised him so much.
But he's done a good job because how many people have kept their nose clean from being in the public spotlight, being the guy since he was 18 years old?
That's extremely true. But when we go back, once again, I like to always go back in history. When we talk about Michael Jordan, carried teams too. Michael Jordan won massive games for his team. Right. Some of the biggest shots in history that we look at in the NBA was done by Michael Jordan, but yet he handled the media with grace, and he wasn't a diva to the point where the media hated him, where people hated him. Michael he said what he had to say. He always said the right things, and he carried what was a certain class with him.
Well,
he always had suits on. He always was well spoken. We all wanted to be like Mike.
Imagine though. Yeah. Imagine if they would have had the level of social media now that they had back in the 90s.
I think Michael would have still did just fine.
I don't know. He had a pretty big gambling problem.
He had a dad that raised him right, and his father was right there by him at all times, talking to him in his ear, saying, "Michael, you represent our family, so represent it well." And he always did.
I think it's all relative whenever you start talking about comparing different eras and the fact that this is the social media era. Versus, what we had in the 90s where, you had your
unless you killed somebody, you really didn't get put in the news.
Yeah, but Michael kept a camera in his face at all times. I mean, you're talking about a guy, we're talking about the greatest player of all time. And he was
I think regardless of any sport.
Yeah, regardless of any sport.
Yes, because if you're comparing somebody as the best in their sport, they're the Michael Jordan of baseball, Michael Jordan of skateboarding,
which is the ultimate compliment.
It's the ultimate compliment, and Michael kept a camera in his face, so he had this margin of error, man. Like this is how much
microscopic.
Yeah, that he had, and he did, and even though he had a gambling problem, he still kept his class, man. And he always said the right thing.
Is gambling. I mean,
that's it. I mean,
and you're worth like $2 billion.
Yeah.
He makes more in 30 seconds than I'll probably make in my entire life.
Amen.
That's crazy.
All of us in this room.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, my money definitely ain't that long, man. I mean, look, I'd be dead and still hadn't made as much money.
Look here, man.
I think more of the story
your money is the same size as everybody else's. The only difference is the quantity and the numbers on it. That's it.
I think more of the story is breaking news. Michael Jordan's the GOAT. I mean.
Well, that's a news flag.
I don't think that take has ever been
now, Trahan, we have argued on many things. We have had our tug of wars.
Yes.
between me, you, and Tom Brady and Peyton Manning and all this, but we will never argue about Michael Jordan.
No, because
No.
even as somebody who was born
Yeah.
right at the the height of his power, even I can look back and recognize that
Absolutely.
what he did was special.
It was
Yes.
very special.
But let's get back on point here.
All right, back to Manny Machado.
Yeah, is this move coupled with the signing of Eric Hosmer, right?
Right.
Yeah, the signing of those two guys, being on the same squad now. I mean, the Padres have not been relevant in over a decade.
Yeah.
Are they now a team that can actually contend for an NL West pennant?
No.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Because the Dodgers are still there. The Giants are not that far away, especially if they sign Bryce Harper. And then you got, the Diamondbacks have kind of packed up shop. And then you have the Rockies. The Rockies have a good young core.
That's true.
And it's really
they made quite a push last year.
Absolutely. And the only person they lost was DJ LeMahieu. We'll see how that goes. But I think the Padres are investing in their future. They saw an opportunity to get a once-in-a-generation player. This free agent class was touted to be the best free agent class baseball had ever seen. Clayton Kershaw was up for free agency. Josh Donaldson, before he got hurt, was NL MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Or AL
And
MVP.
Clayton Kershaw, he's on ice right now.
He's been one of the best for the past decade.
But Dodgers are kind of, pulling back the.
Well, they extended
the horse a little bit.
They gave him an extension, but yes, he has had health problems in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I think what they did with Hosmer, who came from the Royals after winning the World Series.
Yes.
And coming from Machado, who played with the Dodgers in this past World Series, they're getting people who know how to win to teach these young guys, because the Padres for the past 2 years have had the #1 farm system. And if you don't think farm systems are important in baseball, just look at the Dodgers. The reason that they are still good is because they consistently have a top 2 or 3 payroll, but they also keep that farm system stocked somehow because they have just unlimited funds. But like a small market team like San Diego, to spend $300 million, like the contract they gave out to Hosmer last year was for 8 years, $144. It's the biggest contract they had ever given out by leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
And then they turn around this year and give out the biggest free agent contract in history.
Jeez.
Because the only contract who's bigger is Giancarlo Stanton, but he signed that as an extension with the Marlins. His was $326 million over 10 years. So he got it all. He didn't get any of it deferred, which means if you get it deferred, you may get paid $80 million while you play, and then $20 million in 10 years.
Right.
This is $300 million over 10 years. And he has an option to get out of that contract after 5 years if he wants to go back into free agency when he's 30.
Damn.
So whoever set this contract up is a genius.
Yes.
Can I say
credit to his agent on that one.
Absolutely.
Hey, can I say something too, man? That is that makes contracts that the NFL and NBA put out there, man, boo boo.
Exactly.
Like this actually shows that these dudes actually really care about the players,
Exactly.
and not just the game. That's
if you
crazy.
ask, it's crazy because if you were to look 10 years ago, people don't wait till late February, early March to sign baseball contracts because people got to have that spring training to get ready for the season. But over the past 2 years, these gunslinger GMs have kind of been ousted. And now you got the analytical guys who say, I'm not paying $18 million a year for a reliever, or I'm not paying a pitcher who has been up and down $20 million a year. And so these guys are holding out for big money. And it's not
making
coming.
calculated risks.
Right, it's not coming. And the same thing happened last year with Yu Darvish and Jake Arrieta. These two guys, Arrieta won a World Series with the Cubs. Yu Darvish was one of the best up-and-coming pitchers for the Rangers back when they were really good.
Yeah.
Okay? You got these guys who are expecting huge paydays, giant paydays, and the market has not materialized. So I think that along with the Major League Baseball system, it sucks for players that are maybe like those fringe guys who are waiting for the big guys to sign so they can get on a team.
Yeah.
It sucks for them. But if you're a superstar,
You win now.
you're writing your own meal ticket for the next 10 years. Because what other sport gives out 10-year contracts?
Jeez.
It's not
None.
happening.
None.
It's not happening.
It
in the
doesn't
NBA,
happen.
the max is 5. In the NFL, the max usually is around 4 or 5 because they don't want to. They don't want to
because
risk.
of the lifespan that we talked about at the top of the show.
But in baseball, you see Albert Pujols has a 10-year contract. Giancarlo Stanton 10-year contract. Machado 10-year contract. Bryce Harper will get a 10-year contract.
Yes. And what happens with Bryce right now?
Bryce
does he stay with the Nationals? I mean, the Phillies owner is actually on a plane right now to go to Vegas to meet with Harper to try and iron out a deal here at the last minute. Very similar to what happened with Machado.
Well, see, a lot of people were shocked. Machado was in play. Machado and Harper were the targets of the Phillies, the White Sox, and the Padres. All three of those teams were vying for those 2 guys. The Padres are a small market team. Small market teams don't usually spend that kind of money because it's really hard if you've got a guy that's taken up a third of your entire payroll. It's hard to build around that guy, especially with him and Hosmer, because he makes 30, Hosmer makes 18. Okay, this is a team that last year 2 years ago had a payroll under $100 million for all 25 guys.
Wow.
Okay, Manny Machado and Eric Hosmer make half of what the Tampa Bay Rays are paying their guys this year. The entire team.
That's crazy, dude.
Unbelievable.
The entire team. So,
Big bang.
I think what's going to happen now, you got this small market team, and there are reports out that the Padres could look to sign Harper too, but they're not giving out $200-300 million contracts. That's not happening.
No.
Okay?
No.
The Nationals have been reported to have moved on from Bryce. They have two young superstar outfielders that are going to take over, and we're going to be saying Bryce who in Washington because they got Victor Robles and who was the guy, Juan Soto. Those 2 guys, they're gonna take care of themselves. Then you got the Phillies, who at the beginning of the year, their GM or their owner, stupid decision, but he came out and said that they are going to spend, quote, stupid money. Stupid money. Okay?
Hey, I know what stupid money look like.
And they could still do that. They could still do that because there's some high-quality free agents that are still out there. Dallas Keuchel, who was a Cy Young winner for the Houston Astros, he hasn't signed with anybody. Craig Kimbrell, who has probably been the best relieving pitcher in the past 10 years. He's still out there. I mean, you got guys that are still out there that could sign for big money, but all these dominoes were waiting for Manny and Bryce to sign. Well, one of them dropped, and now Bryce has to decide who's going to give him the biggest contract because I've heard some people say that Bryce Harper may, get a $400 million contract. I don't think that's going to happen because I think that basically there are 2 teams that could offer him a contract. Nobody else is going to do it. The Yankees don't want him because they have enough outfielder sluggers as it is. The Red Sox don't want him because they're trying to cut back payroll. They just gave out all these huge contracts and they paid off for a World Series, so they're not going to go out and pay for that. The Phillies and the White Sox are the 2 teams that are going after it. And the White Sox are a long way away from contending, and the Phillies are in one of the most competitive divisions in baseball.
Yeah,
and it's
headed by your Atlanta Braves.
Well, we'll see because this offseason has been dominated by the NL East. I mean, the Mets, the Nationals, and the Phillies have been where everybody's signing. I mean, you got Patrick Corbin was the best pitcher on the market, signed with the Nationals. You got the best reliever that was up for trade. Him and Robinson Cano went to the Mets. The Phillies got they signed Andrew McCutchen, former MVP candidate.
Yeah. With the Pirates back
right.
then.
And so you got this division that's so competitive, and the only reason that Bryce is not signed yet is because he doesn't like the city of Philadelphia, which it's not a very likable place. It's not a marketable place.
Yeah. It's some tough cats there,
right.
Man. That is a love-hate relationship right there.
Absolutely.
No question about that.
So I think within the next week, Bryce will sign because once you start eating into that spring training time, that's less time for him to get acclimated with his coach, acclimated with his teammates, acclimated with that system.
It disrupts the chemistry.
And he's going to get at least 10 years, $300 million. He's not going to sign for less than Machado because over the past, let's say, 4 years, who do you hear about more, Machado or Harper? It's probably Harper. Because, I mean, I personally am an NL East fan with the Braves.
Sure.
So I hear about Harper more. I hate him with every fiber of my being. I hope that he signs a contract and then they never win a game because I hate the guy.
Just tanking kind of thing.
I just don't like the guy.
Oh.
I mean, I don't like the way he plays.
You don't like someone?
As good as he is.
Knows how I feel.
As good as he is, I have never once wished the Braves to sign him. And I know that's stupid and it's ignorant because he would make us way better.
Oh,
but I can't do it.
Good that
I can't do it. I can't do it. But yeah, I think Harper will sign. I think Harper will sign for maybe $310 million, something like that, just to say that he beat Machado, because that's basically it's been Machado and Harper and then everybody else.
So it's an ego thing at this point.
Well, that's all Bryce Harper's about. If you watch him play,
Yeah.
it's all about the ego.
Somebody that's playing, it's all about the ego.
Oh, come on.
I've never heard of anyone like that before, have I, brother?
Hey, but you know what the difference is between who you're referring to and who and Bryce Harper.
You
When
bet
Bryce
not
Harper
say-
lays this hand out, it looks just like mine. No rings.
Nah, get the freak out of here, man. You see what I got to deal with, America?
No rings.
Oh,
But yeah, I think baseball's back in season. I think it's been a kind of a hurry up and wait free agent cycle this year.
Yeah, it has.
And just like last year. And usually, you know, people are used to all these big names, like kind of like the NFL, like the big names sign first, and the dices kind of start
Then you have
going
your
fast.
B tier guys
right.
that start
But
flying
it's kind
off
of been
the
it's
radar.
been ass backwards. It's you got the guys who are pretty good, they sign, and then you got some of the fringe guys who just need to get into a camp, they sign. But these big names, I mean, besides Josh Donaldson, he signed within the first few days of free agency with the Atlanta Braves, bringer of rain. And you know, but the big guys, because Donaldson was hurt, so he wasn't the free agent name that everybody thought. Keuchel's not been as good the past couple of years. He wasn't the name everybody thought. Kershaw re-signed before he ever made it to free agency. So it's been Bryson Manning, and neither guy's really likable. So, you know.
Well, to this point, I think it's pretty much been the Trahan show. just say it. Just throwing it
I don't
out
know if
there.
you guys know, but I like baseball.
I had just got some breaking news, some NFL stuff, man, and I just been waiting to put it out here. I had to
Share this real quick, man.
All right, here we go, man. Breaking news, dude. It just came out, right? They got a picture of the prostitute that Kraft was paying, right? They got a picture of him out now. America, there it is.
Oh my goodness.
There's a picture of the prostitute in which he was paying, man.
Do I get to see this?
Yeah. Make sure we get it up in camera. There you go. Everybody take a look. That's a picture of the prostitute.
Leave Bob Kraft alone.
doesn't show that well.
It's a misdemeanor charge.
Hey, man.
What is the picture?
Oh, it's a picture of our lovely Tom Brady with his long hair down, man. He
Looking like Fabio.
He was in disguise, man. And Kraft was
That's what it
paying,
is.
man. Yeah, he was in disguise, dude. That's great.
Okay.
Breaking news, everybody.
That seems to be breaking.
yeah.
Yeah.
It done broke me up on the inside for sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad somebody didn't break something on this. The injury to Zion Williamson.
Oh my goodness.
And there's a multitude of ways to look at it. You know, from different angles.
Mm-hmm.
Not speaking from a physical standpoint, but from an analytical standpoint. And what I mean by that is this. The most hyped game of the NCAA season wound up being, I mean, it was a good game, but it was not what I think all of the pundits were looking for
Exactly. I mean,
because of the injury that happened to Zion.
It was
the
a good-
North Carolina Duke game.
It was a good game.
I mean, that is LSU Alabama.
That was a good
of
game.
basketball is what it basically comes down to.
Yep.
That is basketball.
Two blue blood
Country.
powerhouses.
Still go Duke.
Yes.
I'm a North Carolina
Yes.
fan. That's
I'm,
my
oh,
number one college
man, that's why I can't stand
I
you.
love the Tar Heels.
I
man.
love the Blue Devils, man. That's
I
perfect.
love the Tar Heels.
Oh,
I remember watching them back when they had Tyler Hainsborough and Ty Lawson. And,
Brother,
so
man.
good.
Brother, I was back there. You know, I was with Duke back with the Dukies back when my boy Christian Laettner was on the squad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Grant
Yes,
Hill
yes.
and you know what I mean. I you know they
Yes.
always call them the Dukies. You know those my boys, man. You know
Right,
What
right, right.
they call them the Dukies, man? That's what you know. That's what North Carolina cats call us, the Dukies. But I used to have so many Duke Blue Devil hats, man. Like that was like my squad.
I
when
hope you
was
don't
a
have
kid.
any Duke Blue Devil shoes.
No, I do not, because I do not want to split my balls.
No, guess not. Anyway, the question now I think there's really two questions that are attached to this because Mount Zion Williamson.
Mount Zion.
Yes. Hashtagging that for you guys.
Yeah.
Straight up. Mount Zion. Mm-hmm. Should he sit out the rest of his brief collegiate career? Because
No.
he is the consensus number one overall
Nope.
pick, I think.
No.
You know, and
Nope.
you know, the two teams I think that are most vying for him, sensibly speaking, really three I guess, would be the New York Knicks, the Phoenix Suns. I don't think that would happen because of them taking Ayton #1 overall last year. And the Cleveland Cavaliers. My hope to God Almighty is that he doesn't go to the Cavs. That's what I hope. I think if he goes to the Knicks, he would be the most celebrated
But he'll
draftee that would go into that organization since Patrick Ewing in '85.
He'll be wasting his career in
I
that.
don't know. They did just trade away one of the best young players.
I just want to say, man. There's no need. There's no need for him to go to the Knicks because all they're gonna do is misuse him, just like they did Porzingis. Whatever.
I don't know, man. What I see happening is
I don't know his name.
Does he sit or does Duke?
Genghis.
Does Duke rest him until the tournament starts?
I don't think Duke rests him because look at their performance in that game. I mean, what are they without him?
Nothing.
Not a very good team.
They have great team players around
Nobody's
him,
watching. Nobody's watching Duke.
He is another level.
Absolutely
of talent.
But he's another level of talent as far as in celebrity. He is putting not just college basketball. People know Zion Williamson that don't watch college basketball.
Yeah, that
because
is very
he's
true.
He's just different.
He's a polarizing character, and he's likable.
He's 285 pounds. He's 6'7", but he looks like he could outrun, Tyreek Hill. I mean, obviously not. But that guy is quick and explosive, and I wouldn't want to play.
People use the term freakish athlete rather loosely.
Yeah.
But he fits that description to a T.
He does fit freakish athlete. He also looks like a baby in the face. Have y'all just looked at this dude's face? He looks like
he's
baby,
a man-child.
He looks
He's
like
a
baby
man-child.
Huey.
He's 18 years old, though.
Well, no, he looks like he's 9 years old. He looked like baby Huey. But I will say this, man. The kid is a freakish athlete. He flies around. He knows how to throw his body weight around. I mean, who do you know that's 280-some pounds that can leap up beside myself and leap up and block something? Oh, I'm letting you know, baby, I can go. You know what I mean? And I'm sitting close to that weight. I'm not all the way that weight, but I'm close. Yeah, and I can move around, baby.
Okay.
Oh, hey, look, I'll take you to one of your own any day of the week. I'm telling you right now.
Sure. Yeah, you destroyed me.
Huh?
No, you destroyed me.
Right.
Hey, I'm not. I don't have much of a leg to stand on right now. Besides the fact that I'm sitting. But
I play a mean game of Monopoly.
I'm just saying, man. I can really manipulate my body weight. I can. It's something that I've always done over the course. It's like.
Yeah, when I was a weighty guy, I do the same thing. Now it's just like, okay, I better rely on something else.
Well, you're truly it's truly natural strength when you can manipulate your own weight.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that's what he does, and that's what I like about the kid. He's able to really manipulate his own weight. That's what's going to make him dangerous, and he's going to be
body control.
Yes, body control.
What happened to him?
That wasn't his fault, man.
Total
That was 100% Paul George's fault because his shoes suck. Paul George, you hurt Zion, man. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Hey.
Paul George.
I hope you're crying.
Thank you,
guys.
I hope you're crying at home right now, dude.
Keep it PG-13.
I think Paul George actually did a good job. I mean, he went before the North Carolina Duke game was over. He called representatives of Nike and asked what happened and how can we prevent this from happening further. I mean, obviously he doesn't make it the shoe.
Nah.
He's kind of busy playing a couple of games.
You know what? You better be lucky, Paul, that you got two guys over here that's taking up for you.
I like Paul George.
I like him too. Actually.
He's always been one of those guys. I mean, he snapped his leg in half, came back
and been balling his butt off.
But looking at
MVP candidate.
But looking at what he did, he forced his way out of the Pacers.
Yeah.
But then he got to Oklahoma City. Had the chance to go to the Lakers with LeBron and decided to stay in Oklahoma City. That's cool.
Why? Because he's a competitor. Yeah. I like what Paul George did. Why would you go play with the so-called greatest player when you want to compete against the so-called greatest player? That's what you do, Skip. You always go against the player. You do not go and play with the best player. No, Michael Jordan didn't do that, so you don't do that, Skip. And that's what LeBron James do. LeBron just want to play against the greatest, Skip. That's the way it is. And that's the way it should be. I like that, man. That's why I love Paul George, man. He went over there with that crybaby Russell Westbrook, and somehow Westbrook has bought into the thing of I can pass this guy the ball and I don't have to try to do it all.
Take a little bit of a back seat.
Take a little bit of, and that is hard.
I guess in his case, not really a back seat, but at least shotgun.
Yeah, and that's hard for Russell Westbrook. And somehow PG done figured out how to do it. Much love to him. But back to my boy Zion, man. You go out there and play, homie. Show them what your heart is like. Don't you sit down, because you know what people are going to start saying then. They're going to be like, oh, well, he's not what we think he is. He's a quitter. Yeah, he got a little knee sprain, and he don't want to go out there and finish off the season. You finish that joint off, and you finish strong. That's what I would do. That's what all the great players that I actually love do, and that's what I think he should do, and then it's going to be better for him when he go to the NBA. I personally believe.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
I like that kid, man. I like him a lot.
Fantastic.
He's a dookie.
But hey, real quick.
At least for a few more
weeks. You know what the
anyway.
possibility that the Knicks could do next year, though? They get that number 1 pick. They could get Zion, sign Kevin Durant, and God forbid he leaves the Celtics, but Kyrie Irving as well. Imagine that squad.
All of a sudden,
I'd quit watching basketball.
All of a sudden, the Knicks would go
from zero to heroes.
From joke to...
Well, the two teams in their
Jokes to
division
juggernauts.
that are super competitive are the Raptors and the Celtics. That would take away from the Celtics, and Kawhi maybe leaving the Raptors anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why he would lead the Raptors. He got them boys balling.
Because he wants to play in Los Angeles. I honestly think the Clippers traded Tobias Harris so they could get Kawhi Leonard next year. Kawhi Leonard's going to be a Los Angeles Clipper.
Are you sure, man? Because
I'm calling it now. Kawhi to the LA Clippers.
It's hard for me to say that because he's really got the Raptors balling over there right now. Why would you leave?
Because it's Canada, and he doesn't want to live in Canada.
Why not? They're really good over there, eh?
They're really good,
You know,
but
they're really nice people over there, eh? I would love to live in Canada, eh? I don't know why would he leave, eh?
Canada.
he submitted. I mean, he triggered the most petty trade I've ever seen in my life. So Greg Popovich,
he did.
he can't reconcile with Kawhi. Kawhi's like, I want to go to Los Angeles. Pop said, okay, I'll send you to the entire other side of the continent.
Not just the country,
the continent.
Yes, exactly.
I'll send you as far away as I can.
Which he did.
Hey, and you know what else? It's funny you say that because if Bill Belichick would have had his way, he would have sent Tom Brady halfway across the continent.
He'd have sent Tom Brady to the 49ers instead of Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yes, he would have. He would have made sure that he didn't have to play against Brady. He would have sent him all the way to the NFC for sure.
All right, so speaking of football.
Speaking of football.
We haven't talked about it. That's usually our bread and butter.
That is our bread and butter.
I've been talking about football this whole time. I don't know about you guys. I've been coming at Kraft all the time.
Yeah, well,
that's not football.
Oh my gosh.
Big Daddy Kraft. That's what the women call him.
Oh, come on. Look here. I'm going to just say this, man. Tag. You're it. Look here, man. Franchise tagging is ready to happen. Of course, I mean, there's... What this basically means is, an organization gets basically a chance to buy time to orchestrate a long-term contract.
It's the biggest bullshit in all of sports.
Pretty much. I mean, to me, it's a cop-out sort of thing. I'm not a fan of it, but it does happen. And the way that it basically breaks down is you've got whenever you're slapped with that franchise tag, you are as a player, you are paid the average of what the top 5 guys, salary-wise, make at that position for a 1-year deal.
Right.
And
it's fully guaranteed.
It's fully guaranteed, exactly. Mm-hmm. Some guys are Le'Veon Bell that refuse to sign it. Some guys are more than happy to.
Kirk Cousins.
Like Kirk Cousins.
He signed 2 of them. He made $45 million in 2 years.
Thank you very much.
Hey, man, and he's been making some really cool mattress commercials, too, man. Have you been seeing them?
I don't hate. Kirk Cousins has got the best business model I've ever seen. Let me go get drafted in the 5th round behind a superstar.
4th, actually.
Then
I'm sorry to do that, but
then push him out. Make myself look really good during the regular season.
Look
Shit
amazing.
the bed. Make $45 million from a franchise that I really hated. Then sign a contract with a Super Bowl contender and not make the playoffs, but still get an $85 million fully guaranteed.
That's not exactly
contract.
Machado money, is it?
Hey, man. Now,
This
that
guy's got a
sounds
business
like...
model. This guy is like Sam Bradford 2.0.
That sounds like my cousin. I mean, I like him. Kurt, you are the man, Kirk Cousins.
Whoa, gee whiz, man.
I don't like him as a player.
I
I just want that guy to be my business manager. I want him to tell me how to make that money without actually being top 5 in my profession.
He might not be top 5, but he's definitely top 10. Kirk Cousins is not a bad quarterback. He's really,
not bad.
He's not a
He
bad
just
quarterback.
can't win the big game.
He is an above average quarterback who gets paid to be an elite
An elite
quarterback.
player. That's the
that's-
perfect way to put it.
Okay, well, I will take that, y'all.
Thank you.
I'll take that, y'all.
I feel pretty good to that.
That was well said.
All right,
Thank
so
you.
who are we doing? Are we doing our top 3 that are going to get tagged, or the top 3 we want to see get tagged?
I'm not doing my top 3. I'm just doing one.
Okay.
Because it's only one that
We'll
matters
single
to
out
me.
one. You know, based on how the length of the show is going, everything. I think we'll just signal off of one. So,
All right, so I'll do 2.
you have been chomping at the bit. We've done so much baseball on this
Yes.
show.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's only fair that we send the mic back to Will. I'm just joking.
Mr. Commissioner, I yield my time.
Indeed.
I'll just go get a massage, man. Forget what you're talking about, man.
Superman, who are you tagging, bro?
I am tagging the only person that I feel is worth tagging. That's Nikki Foles, baby.
Oh, boy.
Nikki Foles, you will never go anywhere. We have a broken up quarterback that just cannot seem to stay healthy. I will not let you leave my franchise. You're going to stay right there in Philly,
If your
homie.
franchise.
Yes.
I thought you were a Broncos fan.
A Joe Flacco supporter now, baby. Joe Flacco.
This is so great.
Joe Flacco. That's what I'm talking about. Talking about elite money for a shit quarterback. Go Broncos.
Once again, this is one thing that we happen to agree on, brother. Oh my God. John Elway dropped the ball, but that's not where I want to go right now.
We are truly having a come to Jesus meeting.
Let's actually talk about a quarterback that's worth some crap.
Nicky Foles.
Nikki Foles, man. You got to franchise tag this guy, man. And I'm not saying me. I'm speaking from the echelons of Philly. I'm not meaning me. I don't got that kind of money. Look, dude, I got dollar bills out here on the table.
Like I said, I saw a 5 earlier.
Well, I got one. What, 2? That's
Oh,
it.
okay.
It's
Well, you are rolling, ain't you?
Yeah. It's not enough to hold Nikki Foles, but I mean,
The Lincoln Twins.
The Lincoln fans at the link.
but
Yes.
But you gotta
Yes.
think, man. If you Philly, why wouldn't you franchise tag this dude? You almost have to.
Carson Wentz is still on his rookie deal, so if you
Yeah.
can afford it, why not?
Why not? And they can afford it. They can afford to tag him. Yeah, Carson Wentz, man. I'm telling you, before it's over with, y'all, you mark my word, they're gonna end up trading that guy away because he's turned into Mr. Glass, man. He can't seem to stay healthy. He might be a bust, and we've seen busts before like that. Great quarterbacks that quarterbacks that could have been great, but just couldn't stay healthy.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah, and Wentz is starting to. He got to give me one full healthy season. He hadn't gave me that yet.
No.
And until he give you that, you better hold on to Nick Foles because you know he's a winner. He's the only person that I see that's worth franchise tagging. I would tag
He
this
keeps
guy.
the Eagles as contenders
Always.
at this point,
They're Super Bowl contenders every year as long as you got Nick Foles.
which is amazing. Whenever you're talking about a backup quarterback, and he's the one who keeps you as a contender.
Yes, that's sad, man. That's
It's
sad.
Crazy to think about, but it's a real thing.
It's sad, man. I mean, I don't know why this man they won't just hand. Maybe it's because Nick Foles was gonna retire, or maybe because of his age. I don't know why, but why wouldn't you just hand the reins over to this man?
I don't know.
Just give it to him and say, man, look, let's see how far we can go with you. You know what I mean? Because obviously right now this team responds so much better when you're behind, when you're getting the ball snapped to you, man. So
I wonder what Carson Wentz would be worth on the open market as far as trade base.
People would
man.
pay
Yes.
out the butt.
Yes,
That's what I'm
indeed.
saying. That's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yes,
for
indeed.
right now, you could roll with Foles and be like, everybody's got a hard on for Carson Wentz if he can stay healthy. I wonder what he might be worth. So
You would be the GM of my team, Todd. Because
you.
with that kind of thinking, that's what would get us a Super Bowl. Because that's exactly what we would need to do.
Because you'd get some hella draft capital, and you'd still have your quarterback.
Oh hell yeah! You still have a Super Bowl MVP. You know what I
There you
mean?
go.
Like, come on, man! A man that threw for 400 yards on a Bill Belichick defense, which we saw a young man right now that could barely get 85 yards on a Bill Belichick defense.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Why not? You would be my go-to quarterback. There's nothing else to be said. And you would have beat if your wide receiver wouldn't have dropped the ball. You probably would be in another Super Bowl.
They would have beat the Saints.
They would have beat the Saints, yeah, you know what I mean? And probably would have whooped the
They would have beat the Rams' ass, too. I bet you
Rams
anything
fucking
on
sucked,
that.
man. Yeah, they would have beat the Rams. They would have been right up in the Super Bowl, you know what I mean? And it would have been a rematch. Patriots versus the Eagles, which everybody wouldn't have mind seeing that. You know what I mean? We would have liked seeing that. We did not want to see this crap that we just saw.
No, because that did not even feel like a Super Bowl. But
No, man, not at all. We don't even want to talk about that crap. Tag Nick Foles. That's all I got to say on that, man.
Foles, tag, you're it, bro.
Tag, you're it, bro.
Who are you tagging, Mr. Trahan?
Well, the reason I say two people is because one guy I want to get tagged for selfish reasons, and another guy I think this team cannot let go. So I hope Landon Collins gets tagged by the Giants. And I say that because he's been in the league for 4 years, and he's made 3 Pro Bowls.
That's not bad.
The Giants are not in a position to lose any great defensive talent, as it is.
No, that's a fact.
Straight
They
up.
don't have the draft capital to just replace somebody like that easily. And, I mean...
They have a top 10 pick,
Right.
but...
You're not going to spend that on a safety. You can't. I mean, especially when the opportunity to have an all-pro safety is right there. I think they're going to tag him.
Yeah.
But
He's in your backyard.
absolutely. And he wants to be a Giant. I mean, he's made it clear. He wants to be a New York Giant.
I like that.
But the guy who I think is one of the most underrated defensive players in the NFL because he plays on an offensive-minded team is Grady Jarrett. Okay?
Ooh.
This guy is 25 years old.
With the Atlanta Falcons,
Atlanta
right?
Falcons.
Yeah.
And
I like that. That's very outside the box.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
not have thought of Grady Jarrett.
he has turned into one of the best run defenders, and he gets pressure from the inside, which we're seeing the NFL take a change.
Yeah.
You got Aaron Donald, you got guys like Sue,
Yeah.
you got guys like Gerald McCoy. Like these guys, defensive tackle, those dollar signs are just getting higher and higher.
Right,
and higher.
man.
Aaron Donald revolutionized that. They went to the Super Bowl thanks to Sue and Donald with inside pressure because their outside pressure was forgettable. Dante Fowler was okay.
Mediocre at best.
Dante Fowler was okay, but their inside pressure was ridiculous.
Yeah, and especially when you got so much emphasis on the quarterback, man, you need inside pressure big time
Because
anyway.
it prevents them from stepping up in the pocket.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and making them have to throw.
And you see quarterbacks that are not mobile. I mean, yeah, Patrick Mahomes can throw it from anywhere on the field, Russell Wilson, but those guys are not everywhere.
No,
you got more guys that
not
are
at
like
all.
Case
No.
Keenum, Eli Manning, Tom
Pocket
Brady.
passers.
They stay in the pocket, they climb the pocket, they move around in the pocket, and then they get rid of it.
Yes.
And so if you got a guy like Grady Jarrett who's 25, that is so young.
Yes.
And he is pretty much the anchor of their defensive line because they don't have very much talent on that defense besides maybe Vic Beasley. They got good linebackers, they got good defensive backs, but their defensive line is a little lacking. So I think Grady Jarrett is. I think he should. If I was Arthur Blank and Thomas Dimitroff, I would be slapping the tag on him and trying to work out a long-term deal.
I like that.
I like that.
I like
okay.
that. Who you got, Todd?
Well, I guess it is my turn, isn't it?
Yeah, it's your
Okay.
turn. Who would you tag?
Well,
One guess.
I get one guess.
Who would you tag? Come on, Todd. I mean, like I don't know, but who
Like
would
we
you
don't- we
tag?
both don't.
Yeah.
Well,
Who would you tag?
exactly. I mean, you shouldn't know, but I mean, if there's one thing that these two guys have in common, Robert Kraft and DeMarcus Lawrence, is having some kind of connection with the law. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm going with DeMarcus Lawrence.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
I know you should be shocked.
I am shocked.
But this is for the very reason that I had stated, when introducing the topic. This is just to buy time to generate a long-term contract, and it's going to happen.
Yeah, that guy's
I
a
mean,
monster.
he is a monster, and he lived kind of on borrowed time, prior to the 2017 season.
Yeah.
You know, because he had back injuries. I mean, he had some suspension issues, and he hadn't, with the exception of a handful of plays, he hadn't really materialized. And then all of a sudden, it's like the light bulb went off.
It did, man.
And you know, the guy just started wreaking havoc left and right. I mean, he changed the complexion of Dallas's defensive front.
Yeah.
I know you can't stand the Dallas Cowboys, and I understand that.
I hate them with every fiber of my being.
But can you sensibly deny that kind of talent?
Absolutely.
Heck no.
I hate the Cowboys, but I'm not stupid. I'm
Yeah.
not blind. He's been the best thing to happen to y'all's defense since DeMarcus Ware left.
Yeah.
All respect to Leighton Vander Esch, but there's only so much you can do from the middle linebacker spot or that weak side linebacker spot.
Yeah.
That pass rush is gold in the NFL. And DeMarcus Lawrence
Correct.
is a man amongst boys.
Yeah, he
And I
is.
knew every time for the past 10
He's a
years
monster,
when we
bro.
played the Cowboys as a Giants fan, it was probably going to be a high-scoring game because both defenses were pretty much terrible always. But this year, it was
Different
like,
story.
man, it was like you went up against that defensive line. It was like a freaking Mack truck, and nobody could move them, man. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
That boy makes that defense just hard to deal with.
Additionally, he gives him an attitude as
Yeah.
well, because I mean
Yeah.
you talked about DeMarcus Ware and everything, and
D.
and
Ware
I
a nice
understand.
guy,
Yeah,
though.
D. Ware is a nice guy. DeMarcus Lawrence is crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
I
That's
mean,
what I'm saying.
he's
We-
nuts.
There's our difference right
he's-
there.
He's like the talent of DeMarcus Ware meets the mentality of Charles Haley.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, those two guys morphed into one player. This is what you have with DeMarcus Lawrence. That's how I view it.
You're right. I completely agree.
But I'm going to go kind of a different direction here, and I'm going to say somebody who I don't think is going to get the tag.
Okay.
Just really, really quick. I'm going Jadeveon Clowney.
I think you're right.
And the reason being is
Is it because
because
of injuries, maybe?
not just because of the injuries, but I mean,
'Cause I would
can they
take-
really afford to, have Watt and Clowney, going long term on that kind of thing?
Because you're going to have to
That's
pay.
huge money at defensive end
Right,
positions.
and you're going to have to pay Deshaun Watson before that contract would be up.
Correct. You've already got the big contract, for DeAndre Hopkins and
Right.
everything that you have to take into consideration.
You finna lose.
Additionally, Watt is kind of the face of that franchise.
He's
Even though
been-
he's a defensive end.
He's been there-
He's
he-
the face of that franchise.
he's been their face for a long
they
time.
can't afford to keep Clowney. And I think the Raiders make a run for him.
That sucks,
That's what I
man.
think.
That sucks because they're losing the best 1-2 punch that we probably have ever seen.
On the outside.
Yeah, on the outside.
Interior,
I don't
as
know.
far as the interior,
I don't know.
I like the what
Michael
the Rams
Strahan,
have.
OSU Manura was pretty darn good.
That was
Yeah,
good. That was
they
good.
were.
Led
Justin
to some
Tuck.
Super Bowls.
Hey,
Justin Tuck and Jason Pierre-Paul.
Yeah.
Again, Super Bowls.
Hey, we can always say DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller too. I mean,
Absolutely.
No question.
We're
You're
talking
right.
about a Super Bowl winning 1-2 punch.
You're right.
But besides them not having a Super Bowl, man, that's a nasty combination,
You're
man.
right.
It truly is.
Watt and Clowney, man, coming off. You're afraid when you're a quarterback looking at that.
Have
other
fun
side.
figuring out who you're going to double team on that one.
Man.
But not only, they have a guy there that is not as good as Clowney, but will not just leave a glaring hole in Whitney Merciless.
Merciless. Yeah.
that
So I think-
Merciless, yeah.
I think you're right. I think Clowney's going to move on to a different team. Maybe the Raiders. I've heard
that's what I'm
chatter that
thinking.
the Giants are interested in looking at him because of their new scheme. If they get rid of Olivier Vernon, which I don't know.
I
hope they don't sign him. I don't
That's
want-
what I'm
I don't-
thinking because
I actually
that's the kind
like
of
you.
athlete that Gruden salivates over. They have the cap space.
I don't know, man. He traded. away
I
Cole,
love
I
you.
know, but Khalil Mack's not his guy.
I love you,
Even though as
Clowney.
ridiculous as that
Yeah.
sounds.
I love you, Clowney, and I don't want you to go down there to die because
That's true.
The black hole,
because
yeah.
the Raiders are like Florida. That's
That's a
where people.
dumpster
That's where
fire.
people go to die.
That's a dumpster
And I don't
my
want you.
gosh.
I don't want you to go there so your career can.
We
die,
don't want to
so.
lose our Floridian audience.
I think we already lost him.
I am a Denver Broncos fan, homie. I hate the Raiders, and I'm.
I
gonna say-
understand that. I'm just saying.
To hell with the Raiders. You suck, and y'all don't need to suck the life out of this young, great player. Go over there with a retarded Gruden who don't know his head from his ass. Go down there and just just fold. And I don't care how much cap space they got, man. Gruden could go snatch up all the players he want. Man, you still going to take forever to build the team that you want, Gruden. And I don't think you got forever because they already started to realize.
10 years.
Well, they realize he's a nut, though.
Yeah,
Man, Oakland realize he a nut. They'll get rid of that fool.
How about this? We're going to close the show off with this.
What a douche.
Topic right here. All right? I saw this on CBS.
I hate you,
Sports.com. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry, man.
It's all
I
right.
apologize, man. I'm sorry, man.
It's okay.
Okay. All right.
Maybe I should slap you with a tag, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
I wouldn't franchise tag me. It's time to move me on.
All right. So, look. No, come back. You know, I'll sign you.
I just got tagged.
There we go.
That's all I've been waiting on.
There we go.
Le'Veon Bell.
We'll save that for another episode because we got plenty of ammunition. We can throw two of those guys from Pittsburgh.
Boy, do we.
We could do a whole
That's a whole
show. Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
just wait till they get on their new teams before we just blast them.
That's true. Okay,
Yes.
we'll
It
wait
could be
on
the
that
same
one.
team, mind you.
Oh
But
God.
let's like I said, let's go ahead and throw this out here.
Okay.
CBSSports.com. I saw this and I was just like, that would be a really interesting thing to throw some buzz on, especially with you sitting here on my 9.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Look here. The prospects of Seattle Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson possibly becoming a New York football giant.
With that O-line, they need him.
I mean, we all know realistically. I mean,
That probably won't happen, but still.
Eli Manning's time is finished. I mean, I know that he's. I mean, I get the whole Manning thing. I get that. But he's a 37-year-old quarterback with cement feet who can't throw the ball 30 yards down the field hardly.
Oh, come on, man.
And it's a problem. I mean, that they've got to rely on Saquon Barkley. They have no other choice.
Yeah.
They're wasting right now the second biggest diva at his position in Odell Beckham. Second. Because I'm putting Antonio Brown.
Oh, Antonio Brown has
top on
definitely,
that-
yeah. Antonio
on that
then took
spot right
his
there.
spot for sure.
I don't know.
So, here's what I think. Just real quick, man. I think if this happens, this is what it will require. You have yourself a proven quarterback who has Houdini-like capabilities,
Right.
for one, which would do wonders for your offensive line, first of all.
He's
already proven
Who
that
has
he can
carried
do
a whole
great
franchise.
behind an awful offensive line. He
And
did
you-
it for years already.
And y'all
He's
have
still
one.
young. He's a hell of a leader. He's athletic, and he has that never say die attitude. He's born with a clutch gene. He's a hell of a leader. And I think if this happens, this is the opportunity for the Giants to pounce on that. Why? Send the 6th overall pick to the Seattle Seahawks for the rights to Russell Wilson.
I think you got to give up a lot more than that. I think you got to give up a
The
lot
man
more.
has held up their whole freaking franchise. You think a 6th-round pick is all they
Not
need?
the 6th round pick, the 6th overall
Oh, the
pick.
6th overall. Okay.
Pick 6, round 1.
But still, you got to get more. I want more than that, man. This man has.
I get that. So
Yeah.
I'll let you finish this because this is going to be your baby on this one.
Yeah.
Javon,
Yeah, man.
what are your thoughts on this potential rumor? Russell Wilson being the littlest giant.
Hey, man, look, if I'm finna go strip in the room, you got to give me more than a couple of dollars, baby. Let me tell you something. And that's just a metaphor of using for Russell Wilson. This man has literally held this whole franchise together by himself.
You want a whole bathroom, not just a kitchen
for real.
sink.
I mean, they dismantled the Legion of Boom, and this kid still getting his team to the playoffs. I mean, that is ridiculous, man. Everybody kept saying, oh, Seattle only good because of the Legion of Boom. And y'all know how much I hate Seattle. Anyone who know me know how much I hate Seattle. But one kid I have always given props to is that Russell Wilson, man. Because that young man has really literally showed me something that I didn't think he had in him. And I was one of those people that thought, oh, man, he's only winning and getting these games because he got this amazing defense, man. But, man, that defense has been dismantled, and this boy is still winning games and beating legit teams. He's not just beating boo-boo teams. So it's amazing to me that this kid has been able to do this for all these years. And he's going to go from one horrible O-line to another one.
If that kind of thing does happen, yes.
If something like that happens. So what I'm saying is the Giants may not be willing to give up what all they'll have to give up to get this kid. Because you're going to have to do a lot. Because Seattle's going to demand a lot. Because he has demanded that out of himself and out of that franchise. I think it's going to be too big a price to pay.
One of the biggest compliments that I can give to somebody like Russell Wilson, and I'm pretty sure you would agree with this as well, is he's heroically humble.
He is. He is.
And there's not many athletes, especially today's athletes, that have that kind of quality. I think that in and of itself is 1 in a million. Or 1 in a billion at this point.
The year that they beat us, my grandma hated Seattle. Talked so much crap about them, just like I did. And this is my grandma now. You know, my grandma loved her some football. She loved her some football.
That she does.
And she loved her some Peyton Manning, baby. And then she loved her some Eli, because she showed me like, come on, Eli, win a game, baby. You just need to win you a game, girl. Win your game, boy.
You should like his grandmother at this point.
Yeah, my grandma loved Eli. But let me tell you something, though, man. My grandma talked crap about that whole team. Couldn't stand them. Said they were just too boisterous and just too, what's the word I'm looking for? Just too
Show-offy?
Yeah.
Flamboyant.
The only one that she never talked bad about, and I paid attention to her. She never said nothing bad about Russell. Never did. Not one time.
I don't think you can.
She never did. She never said nothing bad. She said, I do like their quarterback.
Yeah. You can hate the Seahawks. How do you hate Russell Wilson?
Yeah. She like Russell Wilson. She does. And I like Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I get that.
And when you said heroic, you can say he's heroic as well as being humble. He's heroically humble, and he's just heroic all together.
Correct.
Because no matter what's going wrong, that kid still wipe the blood off his face and off his knuckles and go back out there and make a huge play to get his team right back in the game. That is the definition of a hero.
Which is born to be.
Yeah,
Straight up.
Yeah, that's the definition of a hero. So I'm gonna let Trahan go ahead and finish this thing off, man. But I if he could get over there, man, as much as I love Eli, that would be a big boost for New York. It would be.
Additionally, it would definitely be kind of a great opportunity for your future. I mean, you
Too
would
big
have,
a price, though. Too big a price.
I mean, I thought both of y'all kind of just laughed my offer out the building, though.
Yeah.
That was way too
low.
I mean,
that's too low.
As a Giants fan, would you pass all over that?
For just the number 6 overall?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Sign me up. That's all we had to give up. Sign me up.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So, okay then, what are your thoughts on, 1, the possibility of this happening, and 2, the likelihood of it happening? What do you think it would take?
Well, first, I don't think this is going to happen.
Okay.
I think Colin Cowherd's the guy who first kind of put this out there.
Thanks, Colin.
Colin Cowherd is full of himself, first off. And second off, he said this is something that's he's heard from a couple of people. This is not something that's a huge, like, Anthony Davis style story.
Mm-hmm.
And the story is that his wife, Ciara, wants to move to New York because there's more opportunity for her there. It's more of a media central. And Seattle's not really the place to keep your career going if you're in the entertainment industry.
It's really not.
Yeah.
I know that for
Unless
sure.
you're Nirvana.
That being said,
Feels like Team Spirit, don't it?
Uh-huh.
That being said, I just don't see Russell Wilson abandoning the team that he is basically, like Jevon said, carried on his back for almost a decade. I mean, he's 31 years old.
Yeah.
He's only been in Seattle.
Yeah.
He's won a Super Bowl. He almost won a second Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If he retired right now, he'd be in the conversation for a Hall of Famer, if not already a Hall of Famer.
I think he already a Hall of Famer.
Man.
I think so.
I think
I
he
actually
is.
think
that's strong.
He's
I
Drew
think so.
Brees and Steve Young mixed together.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's that good. He has continually showed that he's a top 5 quarterback.
What is wrong with
every
me? Am I
year.
saying this out loud? Like, what the fuck? Have I got a concussion in my head? I'm talking about a Seahawk player already Hall of Fame.
But, and he's
It's
already...
Mardi Gras time, man. Maybe a full moon on tonight.
Think about the Seahawks. They're not a free agent destination. People don't desire to go there. Any good player they've had, they've either drafted or traded for.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Very much. Very true.
And Russell Wilson is the best player they've ever had.
What about Warren Moon, man? What about
Better
Warren
than Warren
Moon?
Moon.
Steve Largent.
Better than Steve Largent. Better than Cortez Kennedy. Better than those guys.
What about even your Walter Jones, who I know
Better.
you all love
Better
offensive
than Walter
linemen.
Jones. Yes,
Steve
I
Hutchinson.
love.
I got one.
love
I got
Steve
one.
Hutchinson.
Jerry Rice.
I'm talking about players that have played for the Seahawks in their prime. Jerry
Oh.
Rice played for like a year.
Okay.
That didn't count.
All right.
I mean, when you say Jerry Rice, you think 49ers, not Raiders and Seahawks.
Okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
But
I thought I had you for a
I think that he's the face of their franchise. He will be if he stays in Seattle, he'll never pay for another meal in Seattle ever again.
Right.
He'll
Probably
be-
doesn't have to now.
Oh, absolutely not. But if he bullies his way out, gets traded to New York. New York's got a long laundry list of people that are badass there in every sport. I mean, think about Seattle. You got Ray Allen when he played for the Sonics.
Yeah.
I mean,
Gary Payton.
Gary
Payton.
Maybe
yeah.
Sean Kemp. you
Sean
throw him
Kemp.
in.
You could throw
not
Kemp in
and,
there.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Mariners have been another franchise that hadn't really
Dead
had
Griffey
any-
Jr.
Definitely shrimp.
But
Shrimp.
Definitely shrimp.
Griffey
Yeah.
may be the one that's on his level. But I mean, other than that, you really don't have that much competition. You go to New York.
Oh,
you got
boy.
the Knicks, you got the Yankees, you got the Mets, you got the Giants, you got the Jets, you got all these teams that you're probably just going to get lost in the shuffle
And Lawrence Taylor will always be New York's greatest athlete of
Absolutely.
all time.
of all time.
Of all time.
Him and Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
Yes,
Him and Babe
indeed.
Ruth.
Yes, indeed.
But I just think...
Throw Jeter in the mix on that one.
Yeah, you could put Jeter up there.
In the
But,
conversation.
In the conversation,
yeah.
But as far as what I would give up, I would whatever. Just take a look at my roster. Take whatever you want. Besides Saquon, take it all. Take it all. I would trade. Let me give you this situation.
Woo, that's deep.
I would trade
Ooh, that's deep.
the 6th overall pick. I would trade next year's number 1 overall pick. I would trade that next year or this year's number 2 pick.
Jeez.
And I would give them Olivier Vernon or Odell Beckham.
Oh, my God. Oh,
That is a Herschel Walker
There
type
is
trade
no
right there.
amount-
That's a Ricky Williams type trade.
Think about this though. What did Khalil Mack get back?
Seattle would take that.
oh my
I don't
goodness.
think they would. I don't think they would. I don't think they would because think about this.
Gotta think kid friendly, man.
Who's gonna throw Odell the ball? Who are you gonna draft at 6 that's even remotely close to Russell? Nobody in
DeAndre
this draft.
Hopkins.
Nobody in this draft.
Right. No one in this draft, partner.
Haskins.
Excuse me. I said
Haskins is okay. He's not Russell Wilson.
No, he's
Kyler Murray may look and play like him,
He's closer,
but he's unproven. He's played 1 year in college.
additionally,
Real
I
talk.
mean, I don't think he has the mental makeup. I mean, he definitely doesn't have the mental makeup of Russell
Yeah,
Wilson.
the fortitude that Russell Wilson has is seen rarely. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady,
Yeah.
those guys
Yeah.
have that mental makeup. It's not a lot. Aaron Rodgers doesn't even have the same mental
I
makeup.
Not
agree.
even
Russell
close.
Wilson.
I agree,
I
man.
mean,
Because Aaron Rodgers is more about Aaron Rodgers.
Absolutely. When
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, when the going got tough for Rodgers, he cried and bitched and got his coach fired. Cried and bitched about sitting behind Brett Favre. Cried and bitched, cried and bitched, cried and bitched. That's what he does.
Aaron Rodgers
Russell
crying,
Wilson-
bitching punk.
Russell Wilson was the 3rd string quarterback the year
like-
that he
I
got
really
drafted.
see-
I love you, Aaron.
Matt
I
Flynn
love
and
you.
Tavares Jackson.
Yeah.
Those were the 2 ahead of him.
I'm
and
sorry,
he beat
Aaron.
them before even Camp was out. I mean, obviously there's a huge difference in Flynn and Favre. But, both Packers greats. But I just think if Seattle is serious about trading him and Russell Wilson agrees to an extension, because I think 1 year of Russell Wilson, I wouldn't give up what I'd said. But if you're getting 5, 6, 7 years of him, back the Brinks truck up. Get rid of whoever you want, except for Saquon.
Yeah.
Except for Saquon.
Saquon would be untouchable.
Except for Saquon and Will Hernandez.
Well, first off,
Anybody
Saquon.
else, you can have them.
Saquon and I already made it clear he ain't going nowhere.
No, because
That kid was y'all only bright spot last
He's-
year.
he's-
He ain't going nowhere.
he is the future of New York Giants football.
But think about it. If they trade away Odell Beckham, you know who they still have? They still got Sterling Shepard.
Straight up.
They still have Evan Ingram, and they still have Saquon Barkley.
Yes, right.
That's more weapons than Russell Wilson's ever had.
That's a fact.
That's more. That's better weapons than he's
Yeah, it
had.
really
Doug Baldwin's
is.
a hell of a player.
Yeah.
And Tyler Lockett's pretty good.
And he had beast mode.
Yeah, but Beast Mode wasn't the same level as Barkley. No. I mean,
Barkley
Whoa,
has the opportunity. Barkley has the
whoa.
opportunity to be one of those guys that you look back on 10 years after he's retired and be like, man,
that dude.
do you remember how he was? And we're saying this after just 1 year.
And I
in
say
Beast-
this before Javon
In
goes-
beast mode defense.
Hold on. Before you defend Beast Mode. Marshawn Lynch, I loved him when he played for the Bills.
Okay.
I was all on board for him.
Okay.
But Marshawn Lynch was a battering ram. That's what he did. He ran downhill. He hurt people.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley will go through you,
Around
around
you,
you, over you, and he can catch
he's
the ball a
he's
hell of a
complete-
lot better
He's a
than
complete
Marshawn
back.
could.
And he's a lot more likable than
I
Marshawn
got your
also.
back on this one, Marshawn. Don't worry about it. Let me lift your heavy weight. Cause let me tell you something about Marshawn
You're probably the only
Lynch.
person on this table that could.
Let me tell you something about Marshawn Lynch. Yes, he was a battering ram, but that boy did have a great jump cut. Y'all know he did, man. He could jump cut like no other back.
Hey, one
I
kid.
don't concede that.
And
but-
not only that, if they would have beat the Patriots in that Super Bowl, guess who would have got Super Bowl MVP?
Marshawn Lynch.
100% right.
I dropped my mic right there.
Marshawn Lynch has had the best run that I've ever seen in the history of football.
Straight
Against
up.
the Saints. That was the best. Okay? It caused an earthquake. Or tremor. But I'll say this. Marshawn Lynch, after that one jump cut, he's going to lean into you.
He gonna lean right into you. That's right.
Saquon will jump cut, hurdle, full speed.
He's a freak.
And obviously I'm biased.
Right.
But if Saquon played for the Broncos or the Cowboys, you two would be saying the same damn thing.
Hey man, I love me some Saquon, but look, we got ours. Philip Lindsay, we got our boy over there.
I don't care who Saquon Barkley plays for. Obviously, I wish it wasn't somebody in my division because I hate seeing him twice a year. But Saquon Barkley is one of those guys that you watch him, and I'm sure it's like this, whenever, for like a Bears fan or a Vikings fan or a Packers fan, and you're watching Barry Sanders. You hate the team,
But you got
but you love and respect him.
Absolutely.
And that's what Barkley is for me. I
mean,
can't stand the New York Giants, but I respect the hell out of Saquon Barkley.
It must hurt to see that our running back is better than your running back, and he doesn't have the character.
Look, check this out.
yeah,
I
that's real
hate
talk.
Because
me.
Zeke Elliott, second best running back in the NFL in my eyes.
Yeah.
But the dude's an asshole.
He's a douche.
Yeah.
I hate me some Tom Brady. I do not respect Tom Brady.
Breaking
But
news.
I do respect me some Bill Belichick, man. And I have said that on several occasions, man. And that Super Bowl just did it for me, man. And my respect for this guy went through the roof, man. To only rush 5 a whole game and save your best blitz for like 4 minutes left in the game. That is brilliant, man. That is 100% brilliance. That guy, man, I swear, man, you will never get me really. I call Bill Belichick a mean-faced troll and all that, but let me tell you something, man. That dude is brilliant.
Oh, dude.
Massive respect for that
Unquestioned.
cat, man.
He is playing chess while everybody else is
Playing checkers, man.
No question.
That's what's up, bro.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Real talk. Yeah.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Real talk.
No doubt.
And I like the way I can end it on that. That's real.
I think that this is a good spot to end it.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson will not play for the Giants. I'm just
That's
letting you know.
just marking the words of a Giants fan.
That's not gonna
Okay.
happen because that would be too good for me. I would be too happy. It couldn't happen.
Yeah.
God forbid.
God forbid good things happen at the quarterback position for the Giants.
So, yes, with all of that being said, thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to watch us on this Mardi Gras weekend. Yes. Yeah. This is all of us here. The Sports and Night crew, Real Fans, Real Talk, Todd the Coach Knight, Jevon Superman Miller, Will the Beard Trahan.
Robert
Go watch some
Will.
Braves baseball.
We'll see you on the other side, baby.
I'm finna go get a massage with my boy Kraft.
Making it rain here. So make it rain.
Yeah, I'm telling you, hey, look, me and you can go hang out with Robert, man. We go over there to the massage parlor.
You're close, but you're not that close.